covers beneath my skin. There and back, there's no doubt. Your touch is my medicine. I'll be okay, 'cause you heal me. And I give you all my pieces broken. In your hands there's nothing that you can't fix. My heart is great, my scars are open. So put me back together now, stitch by stitch. So put me back together now, stitch by stitch.
Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles. Today I'm doing my July wrap up. Before I get started, I say this a lot if you follow me on Instagram. If you are a coffee drinker and you have a Trader Joe's, you need to get the brown sugar oat milk creamer. I promise you it is absolutely worth it. But anyway, I had an interesting reading month. I definitely read more than I was expecting to. I was able to complete my TBR, and then I fell into a reading slump for a little over a week. But then after that slump was broken, I managed to squeeze in 2 more things. Luckily, my slump is gone, but it was an interesting time because I haven't had a reading slump in years, honestly. But luckily, I made it through. The first book that I completed in July was the first pick for the Pages in Color book club, and that was The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was pretty good. It is slow to start, but overall I really enjoyed it. And this we're following a couple different perspectives. The first one is Princess Malini, who has been sent into isolation by her brother, who is the emperor. And the other person that we're following is her maidservant Priya. There is a very slow burn romance happening. There's also a rebellion. The second book in this, what I believe is a trilogy, comes out later this month, and I am excited to pick that one up. I ended up rating this 4.5 stars. The next book that I read was My Arc of Babel by R.F. Kuang. I did enjoy this one as well. I rated it 4 stars. I'm new to dark academia, and history isn't necessarily one of my favorite things, but if you enjoy both dark academia and history, then you are absolutely going to love this book. In this, we are following 4 different characters who are at the Translation Institute at Oxford. It's a really interesting story and a really interesting narrative on colonization and languages and the history of languages, and it was definitely an interesting read. I'm so excited to see what else R.F. Kuang comes up with. While I didn't enjoy this one more than the Poppy War trilogy, I think that a lot of people will. I don't remember the date for this, but I will put it up on the screen for you, so definitely be on the lookout for that. The next book that I read was The Dating Playbook. This is book 2 in the Boyfriend Project series. In this one, we are following Taylor, who is a fitness instructor. We met her in the first book, The Boyfriend Project, and I really like Taylor as a character. Unfortunately, I did not like her love interest. I hated Jamar. I thought he was ridiculously immature. And typically things happen that make me change my mind about a person in a romance if I don't really like them, but that didn't happen for me, so I just did not enjoy him at all. I ended up rating this one 3 stars. When I completed this one, I read my arc of book 3, The Hookup Plan, which comes out on August 2nd. In this one, we are following London Kelly, who is a pediatric surgeon. I really loved London, so I was really excited to get her story. Unfortunately, I had issues with her love interest too, but he ended up growing on me in the end. I do have a full series review of the Boyfriend Project trilogy where I talk about all 3 of the books, so I will have that linked in the cards and in the description below for you. For The Hookup Plan, I ended up rating it 3.5 stars. The first book in the series was still my favorite, but London is my favorite character, so it was still really nice to see all of these characters come together in the end. And at the end of this book, it said that she has another book coming out in summer of 2023, so I'm excited to see what that one is. If you are a fan of romance companion novels like I am, then I definitely think that you should read this series. The next book that I read was While We Were Dating by Jasmine Guillory. I believe this is book 6 in the Wedding Date series. However, I DNF'd The Wedding Date. I hated it with a burning fucking passion. But this is the book that Robin chose for me for my 12 Recs by 12 Friends. So I also decided to use it as the book I would read to give Jasmine Guillory a second chance. And surprisingly, I did enjoy this one. I gave it 3.5 stars. I didn't love everything about it, but it definitely wasn't as bad as The Wedding Date. In this, we're following Anna Gardner, who is a famous actress. She is trying to get back on top. She was nominated for an Oscar previously, but she didn't win, so she's trying to get another nomination, and she's working on this commercial, and she ends up dating the marketing director of the commercial, I guess. I'm not really sure what his title is, but it was really cute. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the conversations that they had with each other, the open communication. Y'all know that I love good communication in a romance. So I really appreciated that. Would I read anything else by Jasmine Guillory? Honestly, I'm not 100% sure yet. I would have to hear really great things about it in order to do so. But I no longer have any reservations about trusting Robin's recommendations for now. Next, I buddy read Fevered Star with Dasha. This is book 2 in the Between Earth and Sky series. I think that's what it's called. This is the sequel to Black Sun. I really loved Black Sun. It surprised me. It will definitely be on my best of 2021. Fevered Star definitely had middle book syndrome for me. I ended up rating it 3.75 stars, and while I didn't necessarily love this one, I feel like the buildup that we had and what it's leading to for the next book, I really feel that this next book is going to be another 5-star read. I still enjoy these characters, I still enjoy this world, and so even though I didn't love this one as much as I'd hoped, I'm still really excited to continue this series. If you've not yet read Black Sun, I definitely think you should. It's really good. Next, I read Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. This is a dystopian, I guess. This is about a global pandemic that causes the collapse of civilization, so there's no longer technology, phones, airplanes, things like that. If the actual pandemic that we all just went through is a little too much for you, I don't really recommend this one. But all the characters that we're following this book are loosely connected to each other in one way or another, and we sort of see how each of these characters is dealing with the fall of civilization. Frankly, I found this book to be a little boring. I rated it 2.75 stars, but I did do a full review of both the book and the miniseries on HBO Max, so I will have that linked in the cards and the description if you are interested. Would I recommend the book? Not really. I did like the series a little bit more, so for this one I might actually just go ahead and say watch the series. So after reading Station 11, that's when my slump set in. It was a combination of Station 11 being boring, me being sick, and work being stressful. So overall, I just really didn't have the energy to read, but also I didn't really have the desire to either, which really sucked. But then one day I decided that I was going to give If She Says Yes a try, because I had gotten recommendations for it from both Nicole and Heather, and it was absolutely worth it. I really enjoyed it. I gave this 4.75 stars. In this, we are following Tomas, who is going to his best friend's wedding, and he's always had a crush on his best friend's mom, Darcy. So this is an age gap romance, older woman, younger man. Darcy is 55, Tomas is 32, I believe, and I loved it. It was great. It was sexy. If you want a quick read that's got some spice and you're into age gap, definitely recommend. And then after this, I read the sequel, She Said Yes, which I liked, but not as much. There were some components of it that I really loved, and then some other things that I just really didn't care for. This one does pick up right after the first book, and I ended up rating this one 4 stars. So I'm so glad that I finally read the duology, and I'm forever gonna love it because it broke my reading slump. But those are all of the books that I read in July. Let me know if you have read any of these or if they are on your TBR. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.